Alright, y'all. Today I am enjoying our first snow here in the cabin, or outside the cabin. I'm enjoying the snow, and I'm going to be cooking. I'm going to be making some chili. I'm going to make a giant pot of chili, and we're going to eat on it a few days. And what we don't eat, I'll just go ahead and put in some Ziploc bags and put in the freezer for later on in the winter. But this is what I'm using. I got a big bag of fresh onions the other day, and I diced those up or chopped those up in big chunks for my chili. I also sliced some. I went ahead and sliced some up too. I ended up with quite a few bags of onions in my freezer. So I got onions, and I got 2 packs of hamburger. This is Alaskan grown, and it is really, really good. I get it from the butcher shop here in town. And this is what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using some Hunt's garlic and herb sauce. I use some hot peppers. I'm going to use some tomato sauce, some V8. I'm going to be using some 3 blend beans, or 3 bean blend. And they have, what do they have in them? They have dark red kidney beans, pintos, and black-eyed peas. So I'm going to be using those, or black peas, sorry. So I'm going to be using those, and I'm going to be using some McCormick chili powder. And I'm going to put a little bit of swerve in there just to give it a little bit of sweetness. And some Montreal steak sauce, or steak spice. That's what I use in a lot of my recipes, is the Montreal steak spice. Now, if I had tomatoes, if I had fresh tomatoes, I would go ahead and make one of my batches of tomato sauce, homemade tomato sauce. I do have a video of that on the channel, how I make my homemade tomato sauce that you can use for all kinds of recipes. But this time I don't have any fresh tomatoes, so I'm just going to use this stuff. I'd rather have the fresh, but got to do what you got to do. So that's what we'll be using today. That's our ingredients for today. Here's my big old pot. I got a big old pot. Yep, still working on my puzzle over there. That is the hardest puzzle I've ever put together in my life. So, been working on it for over a month now, I think. Well, I don't work on it a whole lot, but every once in a while I work on it. So there's my pot, and there's my stuff. It's still snowing outside. You can see the sun has come out. It's beautiful out. Sun's glowing on the trees and the banister over there, the balcony. See some down there. So it's beautiful. Look at that blue sky coming up. Wow. Isn't that gorgeous? Yep. So here we are. We're going to make some chili and some cornbread. So I hear a lot about groceries being really, really expensive in Alaska, and it costs a whole lot more to be here and everything like that. So I just wanted to show y'all what, this is farm raised. This is Alaskan raised beef right here that I get at the butcher shop. And you can see it's just $10.49 a pound. And it was just $12.54 for this, for what I got. And this is Alaskan grown national beef. And it's 80%, and it looks absolutely delicious. So that's what the price of meat is here. A little bit more, but then again, down there in the lower 48, it's about what meat is going for in Tennessee too. So it's not a whole lot more expensive. It's not, you know, extremely bad. Now, some areas are. Some areas are pretty expensive. And even down here in Homer, it's a little bit more than it is up in Anchorage and places like that, where they have a lot of competition on the grocery stores and the butcher shops and all that stuff. But this is grown right here locally by a butcher here in town. And so it's a little bit more, but not really a whole lot. I think it's a pretty good price for what I have. And the more you buy, the cheaper it is. So if you bought a big 10-pound pack or something like that, it wouldn't be, it would only be about $6.99 a pound or something. So not too bad for high quality. And we really should be helping out our local butchers and farmers and things too. They got a lot going against them, so I try to get all of my meat at the butcher shop from a local farmer. And when produce is in season, I also like to get my produce from local farmers as well. If I don't have a way to grow my own. If I have a way to grow my own, I'd rather have my own, but I do like to help out the local farmers and the local butchers and stuff. Alright, so let's get this chili started. I went ahead and I put some onion in my skillet, in my frying pan. And I'm just going to, because it's still kind of frozen. If you freeze onions to use later on, it's best to not put them in your recipe, in your food or anything until you get ready to use them. You don't take them out. You don't thaw them. You don't do anything like that. You just go ahead and put them in whatever you're going to cook them in. You put them in there frozen in the skillet or pot of water or whatever and thaw them that way. They turn out a whole lot better. The texture of them is better. If you try to thaw them, they get really soft and mushy and a lot of moisture in them. So I like to just go ahead and put mine in there. And then I'm going to put my hamburger meat in there and my spices and get that all ready to go. Okay, y'all, so I went ahead and I got my my hamburger meat frying in there. I went ahead and put my hamburger meat. I saved a little bit for Lily, of course, because I like to fry her up some hamburger meat too, but I don't like all these spices in it. She would eat it that way because she likes spicy stuff, but I try not to give her too much of that for her little tummy. But I put the onions in there and the hamburger meat. And then this is the seasonings that I used in there. I forgot to tell you, I put paprika in there as well and some roasted garlic and herbs. So there's Monterey steak, paprika, red pepper, garlic, roasted garlic and herb, and chili powder. That's just what I use. And I use quite a bit of chili powder stuff. But I go ahead and put some on my hamburger meat while it's frying, while it's browning off. That way your hamburger meat soaks in more of the flavor of all the spices and stuff, instead of just putting it in your chili water. After you get everything in there and everything, some people just wait until everything's in the pot and then they put the chili powder. But I like to go ahead and put some of the chili powder in with my hamburger meat as well. Yeah, look at this view, y'all. It got beautiful out. I went out and recorded a video of the snow and took some beautiful pictures, and then I come back in to finish my chili. And then I got to get my cornbread going. It's so hard to do anything here. In there, where's my kitchen stalker? She's over there. She's resting. She's been barking. I think she must have seen that moose that was out there earlier. We had some huge, huge moose tracks out there. I think she must have saw the moose, but we didn't see it. So, yep. So there's our hamburger meat cooking. So I'll go ahead and get our stuff all poured in the pot. I'm going to pour the rest of the ingredients that I have. Show y'all my messy sink. I hadn't washed my dishes from lunch yet. But I'm going to put all this in there. I'm going to drain the beans. I like to drain my beans off because if not, they've got that slimy juice on them. I'm sure it's fine, but I like to rinse my beans off. So I'll go ahead and open these 4 cans of beans. I'll rinse them off. And then I've got a little bit of swerve to go in there. And my tomato paste. And my V8. And my 1 can of Hunt's sauce. This right here, this Hunt's pasta sauce, is about the cheapest spaghetti sauce that you can get, but it is delicious. I love the Hunt's tomato sauce, pasta sauce. But anyway, like I said in the beginning, if I had my own tomatoes, I'd make my own sauce, but I'm having to use this, and when I have to use sauce, that's the kind that I always get. I'm not a sponsor. So, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and get everything put in our pot, and then I will show y'all what it looks like when it's all put in there together. Okay, so I got everything in there. I put about 6 cans with the Hunt's pasta sauce. I'm going to keep these cans up here, and I'm going to rinse them all out. I like to rinse all my cans out and stuff. It keeps them from, smelling in your garbage and stuff. And, of course, you know me. If you watch any of my other cooking videos where I've used cans, I always crush my cans so little critters can't get them stuck on their heads. I know I'm probably one of the only people that does that, but I feel like it's doing my part a little bit anyway. God put our beautiful creatures here on earth for us to take care of and and to keep safe and everything. So I want to do my little part and keep the critters safe, so I always crush my cans. But you can see it's pretty deep. I don't know what size quart or what quart size this is, but it's a big one. But I did put I put all those things. I put the V8s, I put the 4 cans of beans, 2 cans of tomato paste, and the can of Hunt's sauce. And I just used the can of the Hunt's can. I use that for my water, and I put about six cans in there. So you can put as much or as little as you want to. I've not put the spices in here yet. I'm fixing to put my hamburger meat in here. And you can see my hamburger meat looks awesome. You see those big pieces of onion? That's what I like. I love that in my chili. So that's how I do it. You can do it however you want to. If you don't like onion, you don't want onion, don't worry about putting it in there. But I love onion in my chili, and I like it to be kind of bigger chunks like that. So that's why I do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and put all these things in my chili juice and beans and stuff. And then I'm going to bring it over here and pour the hamburger meat in it and stir it up and let it just simmer for about an hour or so, hour and a half. And I'll keep tasting it throughout the whole process of it cooking. And if I need more of some more chili powder, I'll put that in there. If I need a little bit more water or whatever, I'll just put that in there just to how I like it to taste. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and put this in there and do that. And then I'm going to make some Mexican cornbread. I think I already have a video of my Mexican cornbread on one of my other videos, so I'm not going to make another video of the Mexican cornbread, but this is going to be so delicious. So let me go ahead and get that over here and get that poured in there, and then I'll show y'all what it looks like with everything in it. So I went ahead and I put it on high. This is a gas stove. I'm going to put that on high, and I put everything in there. I still haven't put the seasonings in there, but I've got all the... That's what it's going to look like. Oh boy. So I've got quite a bit in there. So we'll go ahead and get that boiling and going good. I'm going to go ahead and put the spices in there. And again, I put all these same spices in the juice as well as I did in the hamburger meat. And I'm one of those people, I use a lot of chili powder, so I buy these big ones. They're a lot cheaper. And if I buy just a smaller one, you know, the normal size one, if I buy one of those, I end up using the whole bottle usually if I make chili. So I like to get those big ones like that. And like I said, they're a lot cheaper than buying just the small ones. So you can see I just dumped a whole bunch in there. I didn't measure it. I just dumped it in there. I'll probably end up adding more chili powder to it a little bit later on, but I used quite a bit of chili powder in there. And you can see that's how much I used. So I use a lot, but I love my chili to be very, very flavorful. I love the chili flavor. I love all of this mixed together, the paprika and the garlic and the peppers and everything. Just, oh, it makes your chili so, so good. I have a jar of jalapenos up there. I'll also pour a little bit of jalapeno juice in there just to give it a little bit of an extra kick. But you could cut peppers up in here or anything you wanted to. Sometimes I do use like big chunks of tomato, but I just not really in the mood for it, and I don't have any fresh tomatoes, and I don't like using the canned tomatoes. So I just skipped that today, and I'm just making a regular chili without any tomatoes in it. So you can see, we'll let that cook. We'll let that get to boiling. Pretty, not really good, but you'll be able to see it kind of bubbling up. And then you want to turn it down a little bit to about medium. And you want to make sure you stir this a lot so that it don't stick to the bottom and so that it cooks evenly. So you'll just want to stir this up a whole bunch with a spoon, a big spoon, and make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom and scorch. And also, it kind of mixes the flavors together more and more every time you stir it. So keep it stirred really good. And like I said, cook it for about an hour and a half. And you should have you some really, really good chili. I'll show y'all guys what it looks like when it's done and put in a bowl. Wow, y'all. I was over there doing my dishes, and I turned and I looked over here, and the sky has changed yet again. Got a lot of pink. It's like cotton candy over there. These pictures in this video don't do it justice. It is so, so beautiful. And you can see the Ketchimack Bay over there. Look at that. know it's a cooking video, but y'all need to see my scenery and see what I'm looking at while I'm cooking. What I'm looking while I'm cooking. Wow. It's so beautiful. Yep. My chili's boiling over here. I'm going to turn it down. See what it looks like since I'm over here anyway. You can see it's starting to get that foam on top, so you know it's kind of starting to bubble a little bit. I got Lily's hamburger fried. I got my dishes done, except for my cans over there. Got to rinse them all out and get them put in a bag. But look at that. Look at that sky. Wow. That is just beautiful. Like I said, the pictures video just doesn't do it justice. It's such a beautiful color. Oh. Beautiful. Try to zoom in on those pretty clouds right there. Look at that. Wow. Look how it's making pink and purple and stuff and yellow down close to the water. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow. Yep. Okay, y'all, my chili is pretty much done, and I looked out my window, and after all that beauty with the sun and the snow and everything, I just realized the moon is coming up over there, over that building. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's bright, but you really can't tell from the camera, but it is pretty bright. This isn't the best camera for video in the moon. And my other camera don't work anymore. So I got what I got, but I just wanted to add that to it too. I know it's a cooking video, but I was just standing here looking at it, and oh my goodness. All right. I get this chili dipped up in a bowl. I'll show y'all what it looks like in a bowl. Just wanted to share that with y'all. Lily. There it is, y'all. It's all finished. It's pretty good. Kinds of beans and hamburger meat and onions. Yep. Hot. It's very, very hot. Not spicy hot. It's got a little bite to it, but mostly it's just hot. Temperature hot. It'll burn your tongue. It's making my nose run. I already ate a little bit of half bowl, and I forgot that I didn't get a picture of it or anything, so it got me a little bit more. It was a good excuse to get a little bit more, I guess. But, yep, there it is. So, thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was all over the place with the beautiful sunset and the moon and the snow and everything. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and I love y'all. God bless y'all. And I will see y'all, or I will talk to y'all on the next video. Thanks for watching.